there's a minhag that on Erev Rosh Chodesh Sivan, the Shelah, the Sefer Shnei Luchos HaBris, Parashat the Kedoshim, way back generations, had a special tefillah that we say on Erev Rosh Chodesh Sivan, right before Shavuos, Kabbalas HaTorah, and it's a special tefillah that asks HaKadosh Baruch Hu for siyata d'shmaya and a blessing and a bracha for children who should grow to be Yireim, Shleimim, God-fearing, learned people who understand what their responsibility and what their role is, and who interact with the world that HaKadosh Baruch Hu put us into. And that has become a minhag of Doros, that we say this tefillah Hashallah. And that tefillah is something that became a minhag of mothers, fathers, on Erev Rosh Chodesh Sivan, and this year Rosh Chodesh is on Sunday, so Shabbos would be Rosh Chodesh. If they ask your own particular minhag, whether you say extra tchinas on Shabbos, usually it's said with the tefillas of Yom Kippur Katan, which is every Erev Rosh Chodesh. But because it's Shabbos, there's no tainus on Erev Rosh Chodesh, because it's Shabbos, and you don't make it on Friday, so it's really tomorrow. So you have to ask what the minhag is, whether this tefillah is said tomorrow, which is the classic Yom Kippur Katan for Chodesh Sivan, or whether it can be said Erev Shabbos by Hadlachas Neiros. And I've even incorporated that on one side is that tefillah to be said this minhag, and on the other side for every week there's Hadlachas Neiros Shabbos. And I have them here for everybody, and if there's popular demand, maybe we'll see how much lots of cream cheese we can make up from it. But I just was faced with a challenge, because Mrs. O'Hines always telling me something practical, and she'd like to hear something practical. And when push comes to shove, it's really tefillah that has to be the foundation. Tefillah has to be prayer, and tefillah to HaKadosh Baruch Hu has to be the foundation of our parenting model. Because there are books and books and books. Dr. Spock wrote a book on parenting, and in the 60s it's out of date. And then we have every generation there's another new parenting book and another new parenting book. It's almost like diets. It's like, come on, it's the biggest industry, multi-billion-dollar industry. But something, the siddur has never changed. The image of your Bubby or your mother or yourself or your children seeing us with a tehillim. I remember the very, very first week I was here in Cheder, I said to a bacher, I said to a whole class after the 5th grade, I said, I'd like you very much to do me a favor and sneak over to your mother when she's benching licht and listen to what she's saying. And they were shocked. What am I going to listen? I said, just go to your mother and stand nearby. Many mothers anyway have the minhag that their children are standing near them by Hadlachas Neiros, and it becomes a very, very important emotional time of connection. But I got a letter on that Sunday from the father of this child saying, I wanted to go to Kabbalah Shabbos Friday night with my son, and I can't find him. And I see him in the living room, and he's crying. And he continues. He said, I asked him, why you're crying? And he says, because the Menal said that I should listen to Mommy when she benches licht. And his mother happens to say the tefillah in Russian, which is her native tongue. She says the brachas, obviously, Madlik Ner Shel Shabbat, Shel Shabbos, but then she said the tefillah that I'm about to hint to you. She said it in her native tongue, and he understands it. And he said, I never realized that every single Shabbos my mother is davening that I should be the Zakeni, L'gadol Banim, I should be Zocha and have the merit to raise children who are Ohavei Hashem, and Talmidei Chachamim, and Yirei Elokim, and Anshei Emes. And he was just bawling, crying. And the father was just overcome with the fact that what an impression that can make on a child. Forget about the fact that HaKadosh Baruch Hu hopefully is going to listen to us and it's going to come true, but the fact that our children see that everybody has a social aspect and a methodology of how to raise the children, but ultimately, it's our tefillos. Somebody once came to the stipler and said, can I please have a bracha? I should have nachas for my children. And the stipler said, you want a bracha? Prayerin, tears. It's the mother and the father and the bubby and the zaidi and it's the tears of the tefillah that is going to give you nachas from your children. It's hard because we have to have bitachon to know that is a practical way. It can be said in any language. It can be said in any type of expression. If I can read Hebrew, if I can't read Hebrew, if I know Yiddish, if I don't read Yiddish, you can say God to Avram, you can say V'zakeni L'Gadol Banim, you can say Rabbanu Shalom. Please give me, in the world that we live in, give me children. Please help me to raise my children in a way that you will have nachas from them, that they will be Mekad Hashem Shamayim. And when we printed this, we did print it in Hebrew and in English because it's quite lengthy. I'm not going to go through it, but I saw something very, very fascinating that I'd like to close with. So I learned the Gemara this morning. I go to an early morning to the Dirshu Kailel, and I was sitting with Chaim Chabrusim. We're learning a Gemara. We're learning a Gemara about in Masechet Shabbos that speaks about Matan Torah, of all things to be speaking about. It speaks about the whole what went on when Hashem was giving the Torah. And it's a Gemara in Shabbos, Pei Tef, Amud Aleph, and it says like this. It says that Rabbi Shmuel Levi says, Son Shabbos Daf Pei Tes Amud Aleph, says Rabbi Shmuel Levi said, B'shah she'Allah Moshe L'Marav, when Moshe Rabbeinu went up to be Makabel the Torah, it's always good to know like what was going on. We always want to know behind the scenes. We always want to know like what's behind the curtain before the curtain opens. What's going on in the pre-game show in the prop room, Kaviyachol. So he found HaKadosh Baruch Hu tying little crowns to the top of each of the letters of the Torah, which we know are, if you look in the Sefer Torah, you see that there's little crowns, there's tagim on certain letters. So he walked into the room and he was watching Kaviyachol HaKadosh Baruch Hu, whatever this means. So listen to what Hashem said to him. He said, Moshe, Ein Shalom B'irecha. They don't say hello in your city where you come from? It's just shocking that the Baruch Shalom would say something sarcastically. In other words, you walk into the room. What are you staring for? Say hello. Imagine HaKadosh Baruch Hu saying that to us. I know often a boy comes into my office. I need a late note. Good morning. How are you? There was a time at the beginning of the year until we ran out of pickles. Mrs. Belyak's not here. She's always helping us with this. But if you walk by the office and you said good morning to the secretary, you got a pickle coupon. Teach a child. But Hashem says to Moshe Rabbeinu, what's the matter? Ein shalom b'irecha? So what did Moshe Rabbeinu say? I, an Eved of Hashem, I'm the servant. You don't walk into your master's house and say, hi, how you doing? I mean, I remember those days too. Hey, Rav, how's it going? So Moshe Rabbeinu said, no, Hashem, approval of that. He answered back. He had the confidence to say, I'm just a nobody. Who am I to say anything? So HaKadosh Baruch Hu said to him as follows. Amalei, he said to him, Haya l'cha la'azreini. Maybe you shouldn't have said, hi, how are you doing, Rabbanu Shalom? But you should have come in and attempted to help me with what I was doing. Imagine the Rabbanu Shalom telling a boss of Adam, I know he's Moshe Rabbeinu, but if the Gemara prints it, there's a lesson for us to be learned. You should have helped me. Now, what does that mean when Hashem said, you should have helped me out? You could have at least said, you know how it goes, you walk into the building, you're carrying, you go, come to packages, and someone says, hi mom, walks right by you, what's for supper? I'm not telling you, you can at least say, can I help you? Turn around. I always say to the Bachrim, if you walk through a door that has an automatic closer on it, always just when you're just about to go through, just turn around, see maybe there's somebody else that you can hold. Think about the next. Kadosh Baruch Hu says, Hayya l'chala azreini. Now, how on earth can we help the Ribono Shel Olam? How on earth can we help the Ribono Shel Olam? How on earth can we help the Ribono Shel Olam? So Rashi says something unbelievable. La azreini, you know what you should have helped me? Loimar, you could have said, Hatzliach malachtecha. Ribono Shel Olam, you should have hatzlacha in what you're doing. And every time I walk out of the Rosh Chodesh house, I'm sorry, Rebbetzin, I don't mean to embarrass you, but the Rebbetzin walks me to the door, and she said, you should have a lot of hatzlacha. You know what kind of, that Moshe, but all Rabbi Shalom was saying, is you should have said to me, you should be my matzliach. And you know that there are certain people that say that, say matzliach. Bracha, you walk out of I was in Rabbi Kamenetzky's room last week. I flew to Eretz Yisrael for 2 days just to get a bracha from the Gedolim on a certain project here that we're doing for the Cheder. And everybody knows, ask anybody, when you go to Rabbi Kamenetzky, he's not a man of words. But if you ask him for bracha, his 2 words are bracha v'atzlacha. Now, could you ask for more than that? What do I don't need him to give me a ganze lange drasha. Bracha v'atzlacha. So Rabbi Shalom said to Moshe Rabbeinu, you should have said to me, Tatzliach b'malachtecha. And I'm just thinking that maybe that's what tefillah is. Because the Rabbi Shalom wants to do good for us. The Rabbi Shalom wants us to be good parents. The Rabbi Shalom wants us to see our children through the summertime blossom, grow, gain from all of the opportunity that the summer has. And He's about to do it to us. So what's our tefillah? I'm thinking of a chiddush. Is our tefillah asking HaKadosh Baruch Hu, please do this for me? No. Maybe the tefillah is. Maybe our tefillah is not asking the Rebbeinu Shalom. The Rebbeinu Shalom says, that's what I'm busy doing. I am busy the whole time helping you. Can you just do a daven and say to me, Rebbeinu Shalom, I would like you to have a bracha that you should be matzliach in helping me with what I'm doing. Because we forget for a minute. You know, there's a famous story that I once read in the Reader's Digest, if I may quote the Reader's Digest. Okay, I say a lot of things here, and it goes on. I got from Eretz Yisrael already, 36 downloads, and 63 1 week, and so because this is sent out in the email, and it's not. But it's not to say I quote it. So well, you could get something from a Reader's Digest that's valuable. But there's a story that a person comes up to Shemayim after 120 years, and they show him his whole life. And his whole life is a big, huge, snow-covered field. And he looks at his life, and he sees from time to time, and there's the Rebbeinu Shalom telling him, this is your life. And at certain times, he sees one set of footprints, and then in other times, he sees 2 sets of footprints. And the Rebbeinu Shalom said to him, when you see 2 sets of footprints, those were the good times that you had in your life. And when you see 1 set of footprints, those are the difficult times that you just thought you wouldn't be able to get through. So the person turns to Hashem and he says, so, Rebbeinu Shalom, where were you during the hard times? He says, you're making a mistake. In the hard times, those are my footprints. I was carrying you. Because we tend to think that when it's a hard time, that we're doing it all alone. But we're getting through it. The Rebbeinu Shalom is getting it through us and He's carrying us through. So I'm thinking that's what our tefillah is. The Rebbeinu Shalom says, I want to help you. You're about to face a challenge, and that challenge, I'm giving you the bracha that it's going to be an amazing opportunity. At the end of the summer, you're going to sit down and write down with your son, this day we did this, and we accomplished that. We're going to make a little diary, and this day we had nothing to do, and it was boring, and you came crying, it's not fair, I want to go here. And I took you, we went in the car together, and I took you for a Slurpee, and then we went to the park together, and then we went to Daddy's office, and we picked him up, and we brought him lunch, and he took 20 minutes to have. And the Rebbeinu Shalom says, I was there to help you. All you need is to be mispalo, these tefillahs. Be mispalo, and tell me, Rebbeinu Shalom, tatzliach b'malachtecha. Be matzliach in what you're doing for me, because all those practical tips, and with Hashem next week we'll start off with, with getting down to the nitty-gritty, but to base it on the fact that we believe that there's a Rebbeinu Shalom. We believe that we have such an unbelievable, powerful effect on the destiny of our families, our children, our husbands, our parents, wherever it is, we can do it with the koyach of tefillah, with a little bit of seichel. If we sit in the base medrash and we daven all day, right? We daven all day and we sit and we daven and we daven and we daven, and the kids are crying and the supper is not made. So what is it? So what does the tefillas do? You know, there was once a story with Reb Chaim Kreisworth. Chaim Kreisworth once went to Zichron Moshe. Zichron Moshe is like a minion factory in Yerushalayim, where come anytime till 12 o'clock, you'll get yourself a minion. And it was a Monday. There was Kriyas HaTorah. Reb Chaim Kreisworth was a Tzaddik of Rachi. He was the Rav of Antwerp. So he was on vacation in Eretz Yisrael. He had an apartment there, and he died. Zichron Moshe took his time. So he was there from like 7 o'clock until 10 o'clock, and he was learning, and he was, going. And he sees a bacher going from one minion to the other minion to the other minion to the other minion from 7 o'clock till 10 o'clock. He's running from minion to minion to minion to minion. So he says to the bacher, "What are you doing?" He says, "I saw in a sefer that it's a big segula for hasmada. If you look at the Sefer Torah when they do Hagbah and you find the letter of your name, when they do Hagbah and you find the letter, you know, people are looking at the letter, it's a segula for hasmada that you should learn really stark." So Reb Chaim says, Seder started about an hour and a half ago. The biggest segula for hasmada is to get into the base better to sit down and learn. So I'm not saying that, that the site of parenting is just sitting down, Kids come in, kids come out. Mommy, I'm starving. Kids see I'm davening right now. Mommy, but that you've been doing that since 9 o'clock this morning. It's already lunchtime. That's not what I'm saying. We have to be practical. You got to look at the ICS. You have to say the tefillas, and then get down to the practical. Mitzvah Hashem, with our tefillas, with our encouragement, with the chevra together, a little bit of lox and cream cheese also helps. When we have a babysitter, it also helps. Have somebody to help you clean the house, it also helps. And to help do the carpool. Rabbi Hashem, the combination of our tefillah, the combination of our hishtadlus and our input into the lives of our children and our families will reap tremendous nachas, and it'll make each and every one of us very well prepared for our Kabbalah HaTorah, and the Mitzvah Hashem will Kabbalah HaTorah, give the Rebbeinu Shalom nachas, and he'll be able to say to us, "Thank you so much for helping me in what I wanted to do for you." Everybody wants to give these out.